Joining me now is Juanita Ingram. She was Mrs. Universe 2022. She's also an attorney, an author, and an actress. Juanita, thank you for being here. So to what you know, what is going on behind the scenes at Miss USA?
You know, I think we can all speculate, but we have to go on face value of what the statements say. And fortunately, their mothers have come out to talk about their experiences. All of these, of course, are allegations of toxic work environment, issues of mental health, and sexual harassment advances that the contestants receive. And really, I think their statements have been that of mishandling. You have a situation where people don't know, and I have to say this just as a caveat, I'm Mrs. Universe. It is a totally different organization. Yes. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Miss Universe organization, but I can speak to my own experiences of 15 years in pageantry. Sometimes you have great leadership, and sometimes there are blind spots within your organization. I am an attorney. I lead abroad. I'm very slow to condemn other leaders that are trying. But the reality is that we have to take on face value what these young ladies are saying and what they're experiencing, because pageantry is a job.
Well, you talked about 15 years. If you're winning a pageant like this, you've probably worked at it so hard for so long. You get to the very tip top and say, I don't want this anymore. You're the runner-up and say, don't put that tiara on my head. I mean, you talk about a toxic work environment. That's what's being alleged. I don't know if that's get up at 5 a.m. and then work till 12 a.m. If that's something like someone berating you, what would that even mean? How could it be that bad?
You know, I will speak from my own experiences, and it's the issue of leadership. Sometimes, and what we know from the statements that have been made, they were alleging that they didn't have proper handling. They didn't have proper security. And when you are a public figure, especially in these positions, in my years, Mrs. Universe, I always had security. What they mean by handlers is usually someone that accompanies you to assure that you are safe. If there are people that are making sexual advances towards you and you don't have anyone around you to protect you from that, you are a public figure. So, you know, you do work a very long time. It took me 10 years to become Mrs. Universe. It took, I think, what Miss Universe or Miss USA has said, 7 years of competing. It is extremely hard. They only had a few months left in their reign. So you know that it had to be pretty bad from their perception and what they experienced or what they're expressing that they experienced for them to step away.
Right. From the outside, it looks glamorous. There's all the sparkles. You get to do appearances. But, like, I watch Housewives Atlanta, and Kenya Moore was Miss USA. And, I mean, to climb that ladder, that is tough. It can be brutal. So it's not like these people are, you know, too sensitive, you know, or they're easily pushed over. I mean, these are tough ladies usually who make it to the top. And the mothers of these title holders, they went on GMA and said, my daughters have been silenced by an NDA. They had to sign this if they wanted to, you know, put on that sash. When we've seen something like Miss America make changes, why are these women still under these NDAs where they can't speak?
Well, you know, there are legitimate reasons, and I take this from a legal perspective now. There are legitimate reasons to have NDAs. There are legitimate reasons why organizations require them. There are trade secrets. There are information that you will acquire while working for any company. And again, this organization is just like any other company. If you get a franchise from McDonald's, you're going to sign an NDA because you come into proprietary information. Now, what the issue is here is there something unconscionable about the NDA? Is there something that would be overreaching in where they're being silenced? That's an allegation that is swirling that they don't know. But there are reasons for proprietary IP, all type of legal real ramifications as to why you would want to have an NDA. But the question is it reasonable? And were they able to actually review it? You know, those are legal considerations that I would advise everyone to get legal counsel to see their standing on that issue.
I'm so glad you're a lawyer because I hadn't considered a lot of that. And yeah, the question of degree, that's also important there. Any changes you think are layups at these organizations that just need to happen across the board?
Yes, you know, I think effective communication is key. We haven't really heard from the organization in terms of directly addressing anything that's been alleged. But I think and I'm reluctant to say anything too condemning because I'm a leader, and you can have blind spots in your organization. The issue is not when these issues arise; it's what you do about it. So we want to see some action to take place to assure that women are safe and that they are both safe physically and mentally.
I know you're good at answering questions in brief because you have been a title holder. So in about 20 seconds, for people wondering, why do we still have these pageants in 2024? What's your thought?
You know, I'm a pageant fan and a pageant enthusiast. Pageantry with purpose is powerful. My year that I reigned as Mrs. Universe, I was able to raise over $500,000 for my charity of choice. And, you know, it's impactful. It changes the trajectory of a young woman's life, but it can also make societal changes. There are important role models. Young girls would come up to me and cry and say, "You look like me." It's important for them to see that success and intelligence and knowledge is what wins the crown. And so the role model factor is still very relevant today. And I think that all of these young ladies deserve our support, as does the organization.
Juanita Ingram, Mrs. Universe 2022. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure meeting you. Thank you.